the sun. So guys, today it's my dad's Remembrance Day. Today makes it 15 years since I lost my dad, and I've been without a father for 15 years. And I want to share about my lifestyle and how I went through my whole life alone, all by myself. And I want to tell you guys about how. Here is somebody I call a father. This is his business. He sells fingerlings. These are fingerling fishes, you see, so much. I'm going to attach his number here so you guys can see his number. You understand me? So, but I want to talk about the fact that I lost my dad 15 years ago, and 2011, on the 2nd of February 2011. Now, when I was still in my secondary schooling, and it was really a painful one and not an easy one. But today, we're celebrating him because he was one of the most wonderful fathers in the world. He was a minister of God. He believed in God so much. So do I believe in God so much. And my mom is still alive, so healthy and strong. And I'm happy for the kind of parent I have. So stay with me while I talk so much about how wonderful my father was and what I have missed ever since he has been with me. How stick with me, and this is going to be beautiful. So, like I said, I'll be coming here to talk more about today how I'm going to be talking about how I lost my dad 15 years ago. And I told you all I'm going to be saying it straight out of it. My dad was a wonderful father, and I want to go straight to the point. And I grew up meeting somebody as wonderful as he was, and it was something special for someone like me to be with a beautiful father like he was. Then I grew up back then 2011 on the 1st of February. My dad traveled. It was even on the 31st. Then on the 1st, they were on the way coming over the night. They went for a ministerial job, and it was actually one hell of a scene. 1 second, I'll be back. So I grew up, and like I said, on the 1st of February, he was on the way back from his journey when he was a minister of God in a church called IRC. It's a ministry, not a church. And they hold evening service most of the time. They don't have morning service. Even on Sundays, it was always an evening service. So my dad was one of the evangelists in the church. He was promoted and he became an evangelist from a pastor. And he was so talented that he was the one handling the whole what did he call? He was the engineer of the church. He fixes the generator of the church, the speaker. The apostle doesn't like anybody to even tamper with the mixer and the instrument except my father then. So he was so talented that he was the engineer of the whole church. And then my dad was a businessman. He was into spare parts. He sells spare parts, and he also sells he imports and exports cars, like from Cotonou and some other parts of the country. That was what he did later. My mom was a tailor, a fashion designer. So throughout those times, I started using phone from I think from the age of 7, when the 3310 came out, and my dad got me one, got himself one, and the first SIM card he bought me, I know how expensive MTN SIM card was then. I think he bought the first one for 18,000 naira. Those ones that came with the Dix. He came with a Dix like this, those MTS first set. So because of the business, I attended to his business right from that age. I was in primary school, I think primary 2, 3, when I started handling my father's business then. And primary 4, that was when he got a phone that, okay, whenever a customer comes around, you don't know what he wants to buy. My favorite thing of selling then was spider bearing. I love selling spider bearing because it was easy to inflate the price and still tell my dad that I sold them. So it was one easy thing. But one thing about my dad, that he knows how to get me, because whenever I make some sales, I want to hide some money in the drawer that if he misses the money, I'm going to come back to the shop and take it. Or even when he got me a phone, whenever I'm going to school, he always be like, drop the phone. Then I'll now hide the phone that he shouldn't see that, okay, when I come back, I'll go and get it. He's always ahead, a step ahead of me. I guess that's why he's the adult then. So he's always a step ahead of me. So my dad actually was a very nice person. He never laid his hand on me except twice the whole times he gave birth to me. The first was when my mom gave birth to my younger sister and I was disobedient. because I was tired. Then the second was when my father caught me doing something unholy, and that was the second time he laid his hand. My dad he doesn't even have the time to even beat a child, but we all fear him so much because he's very strict and very organized. Organized to the extent that all his clothes are ironed. All, when you mean all, my father may wear a shirt like this and still throwing. He's always in church, always going to church. So I'm always from school. I do the house chores, fetch water. That's the most important one. My mom makes me do fetch water. And after fetching water, I stay in the shop, sell goods. Whenever I don't know a price, maybe like shaft or something, I call on him immediately. He gives me the price and I sell to the person. And there was this favorite mechanic. The funniest part is my dad was a mechanic at first, and my father was from Cross River State. And it was from being a mechanic, he was a driver. From being a driver, then he now started selling his own goods and then became a spare part dealer. So it was crazy, but he had so much talent. To the extent, my dad never had an accident even once all his life. So the day we were called they had an accident, the first question my mom asked was who was driving. When they said it wasn't my dad, then my mom started crying instantly because she knew if he was the one, he's just like a gift or talent. He had never had an accident in his whole life before. So it was one of the deacons that they went to the journey. They went from Niger State, Kotangua, to Kaduna. From Kaduna, they were coming back. They had an accident within Mina, after Mina, because there were robbers on the way attacking. So the person was trying to swab and dodge some of the robbers, and that's how the steering pulled off, and they had an accident. And my dad had an internal bleeding because my dad was huge. Had pot belly, big and stuff. So he had internal bleeding. I guess they couldn't get to it as fast as possible. And with what I remember, my dad was an excellent father. Today makes it 15 years. 15 years since I lost him. Today makes it 15 years since I lost him. And I really want to talk about myself, talk about how much of a good father he was to me, and he was excellent. I bet you all don't know I grew up with an amazing father before I lost him. I was in my early stages, secondary schooling, and here in Nigeria it's called secondary schooling. I don't know, maybe it's grade 9 or whatever they call it over there. Then I lost my dad, and ever since then I picked up the responsibility as a father. I have 3 siblings, 3 good siblings. I have 3 siblings. So, in conclusion, the dad was an amazing person. He was loving. I'm going to show a picture about my dad and mom very soon, or maybe if I can get the picture, I will. And tell you guys how amazing he was. He was simply amazing. I love that man so much with my life. Like I could do anything to be like him. He was amazing. He was business enthusiast, is that what they call it? And he was loving. He was an amazing father. And I appreciate his kind. Today marks it the 2nd of February that I lost him. And 2nd February makes it 15 years since I lost my father. And ever since I've been fatherless. Except the God the Father and religious fathers that I have in my life have been a good thing. I just want you all to send your condolences to him too, and no, wherever he is in heaven, we appreciate him. I love you, Dad.